Yep. Now we like.
Now you
Now we
like?
can say hello.
Ah, okay.
So,
Kannst du es machen? Du willst die Geschichte mit dem Spielverkehr, dass es spielverkehrt ist?
ich verstehe auch nicht, aber wahrscheinlich. Das ist
Na, weil
aber.
mir ist nur gestern bei den Folien aufgefallen, weil die ja dann unleserlich werden
Nein,
dadurch.
aber sie sind ja bei der Übertragung dann wieder
Dreht sie es
richtig.
wieder um.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, warum sie sich da gerade umdreht.
Aha. Okay, das heißt, das ist nur ein Computerproblem.
Ja,
Hm,
genau.
auf deinem Rechner.
Genau, da
Ja.
kann man dann das Zoom verstehen. Ja, wir können schon trommeln, würde ich sagen.
Das soll Traum nochmal?
Ja, ja.
Ja, okay.
Wenn nur den. Choice.
Oh. Zwei und das Vierer haben wir, Wilfried, da.
So, welcome this evening for this evening's lecture. Please come to silence. Thank you very much. So again, welcome all the watchers from around the world. My name is Wilfried Ehrmann. I'm organizing this conference. And welcome. And hand my mic over to dear Wolfgang, so he can introduce dear Viola for this evening's speech.
Welcome to today's keynote lecture. Our distinguished speaker today is Viola Edward. Her talk is entitled Feminine Capital Rhythm. So she's going to talk about feminine qualities, about masculine qualities, about the ways we interact with ourselves, women with their feminine qualities, couples, men maybe with their feminine qualities, men with their masculine qualities. So it's a very exciting topic, and is something that all affects us all, and that is like a burning issue, I can say, for our identity, for our way to live together, not just as men as women, but for our cultures, for our yeah. So I'm very curious, and I'm very happy to hand over to Viola.
Thank you very much. It is such a pleasure. Oh. Very humble. Thank you. Para mis amigos de habla hispana, les voy a dar de vez en cuando, ¿sí? Porque el tiempo es corto. Today, also I wanted us all to take some seconds of silence and remember all the teachers and masters that help us to be here today. Whoever was your teacher and the teacher of your teacher and the teacher of your teacher, the fact that we are here today celebrating the music of the breath and the rhythm of our qualities. The fact that somebody like me who stopped schooling at 13 and be here in front of you, dear masters, dear teachers, it's because somebody before me made it happen. And I want some seconds of silence. Close your eyes and take 3 breaths in the way how you want. And just give the thanks to those who allow you to be here. Who did this work before us in a different way. I have some of them here, I'm the lucky one. Thank you. Thank you. I also remember a story today with some of my new friends about a community in a village that they heard a lot about elephants, but they have never seen an elephant, or they in picture or in person. They have no idea how big it is, how small. They just heard about it. And then some clever person from that community said he's going to bring a circus, and that circus is going to have an elephant. But unfortunately, they arrived at night. It was a night with no moon, very dark. And the villager get the command not to go to the circus place because it's dangerous. There is elephant. We will all see the elephant tomorrow. But as you know, human being cannot take this kind of command. So they sneak out and they went to the place of the elephant. And the elephant was all covered with a big cloth. And it was very dark. And each one of them grabbed a part of the elephant. And guess what happened? One of them will say, oh, elephants are like the columns and the pillars of a Roman temple. The other one said, you're crazy. The elephant is like it moves. It's like the leaves of a tree, but it's very big. The other one said, your both are crazy. It's sharp and curved, and it could, it's really dangerous. And they kept going like this, and each one of them were right. So what I want to talk today about, how we grab a part of the truth, how we survive to our pain and to our wounds, and we find a way to go into life, and then we grab that way, and this is the way that helps us to survive, but also bring us a lot of pain. Let's take a deep breath. Is the level okay? Is slow enough for you? Thank you. Okay. Also, there is, as you know, we all have life stories. We all have events that have marked us deeply, and those events have put us in another stage of life. So I hope you have brought your papers and pen, and I would like you to write one event of your life that was very important for you. Yes, we'll take some seconds, just write it. We'll come back to it.
Important and painful, or just important?
Sorry?
Important and painful, or?
Important. These events, obviously, if you are here, you have survived them. Yeah? So I would like you to write down also, what was that quality that you have used to survive to that event? Let's talk about qualities, because I'm going to go to the capital and how we build our capital. So there were an event, maybe painful or not, and you survive to this event and you use certain quality. Please choose one of those qualities. And we'll come back to this exercise a little bit later. So I was telling you about myself. I stopped schooling at the age of 13 because we emigrated and I'm the elder in the house and I had to start working. But I love books and I used to be a very good student. So I did homeschooling supervised by myself. That was a quality. And then, there is a drama. I'm talking about early 70s. Nowadays, maybe it's slightly different. But in that time, for children, when you stop school, There were not systems to keep studying at night because you have to be over 18 to study at night. So it is a drama, and I think in some part of the world it's still a problem, what happens with children when they stop their school. Coming back to myself, so books always were my place of refuge, always were my place where I can develop my imagination. But you know also what happens with children when they have to work. They have to work 8 hours or more, and then they have to be in the transport, and there is very little time to study. But so what's the quality that I use there? Perseverance, constant love, harmony, whatever I use to be able to follow up that and find a system for myself to engage again in the educational system at the age of 16, doing a little bit of trick because I was 15. But I am this fortunate person that I grow up with women. My mother is a widow and I have a sister. And also I grow up in a country like Venezuela that women are all over. Who was saying, Lars, are you here? Some of you were in Venezuela in 2002.
Yeah.
So women are all, who were there, yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lovely time. So personally, as a woman, I have never felt discriminated as a woman or as a foreigner. Because I grew up in this home with a mom who will be able to do everything. She can fix everything. She was a young mom, a widow with 2 daughters, and she managed to survive in life. But as soon as I start working as psychotherapist and breath worker, apart from what I heard through my life from other women friends, their pain, now I start having statistics about what happened with women around those countries that I work in. So I have worked in Venezuela and Costa Rica and Colombia and Argentina and Mexico and US and later on in Europe and mainly in the UK. And also I have experience in Holland and in Denmark and also in Cyprus, South and North. But nowadays with the online, we have experience everywhere because we have clients from everywhere. So I have clients from Pakistan and from Canada. And what I find in my research that women still have 1 or 2 restraint areas. There is something in women that makes them feel I cannot have it all. Doesn't matter if the country gives them the legal right to be equal, because there is some countries that we already have same rights, yes? And as you know, there is some country who they still don't have right to vote, to drive, whatever. So my point here, my research starts, but why? What's happening with us? What is it that makes us feel that we cannot have it all? If I have good job, maybe I cannot have the relationship. If I have good relationship, maybe I cannot have the good job. Maybe I have a relationship that doesn't honor me, but I have to keep quiet because I have kids. What is it that nowadays affect women to that level that they don't feel worthy enough to have it all? Do you want to share with me if you have any experience with your client that is similar to what I'm talking about? Or in your family or in yourself? No? Okay, can you write it down? Just write down, if you want, that area that you feel that you cannot have it. So, studying about it, I came across to...
It's only for women or it's also for men?
For now, it's just for women. I'm coming to the men. I'm coming to the men. It's just for women. So I came across this sociologist who was saying, I will recover the name, who was saying that the bigger discovery of the 20th century, it was not that we went to the moon and came back. The bigger thing that happened in the 20th century is what happened with women. We're out. We can do everything. We can study everything. We can travel. We can drive. We are free. We're sexually free. We can vote. So all women in that lecture we were feeling. Yes. And then she said, but. If she keep waiting for her prince to come and save her, she still didn't make it. Huh? So I want you to write down, please, if there is any part of you that you're still waiting for somebody to come and save you. Because we don't need to do it. We need that somebody to find us. We need to meet that somebody. We need to have encounters with partner, with business partner, with love partner. But we don't need anymore somebody to come and save us. Just write it down. If in your paradigm you still feel that will be nice, somebody to come and save me, because that could be on your way, women. But the story developed actually in a different way. Women are very strong. We are CEO of many companies. We are ministers. In South America, we are presidents. Huh? We can do everything and anything. And there's something that has shifted on us. I don't know you much, but I started working in the 70s, early 70s. Who started as a woman? Who started working in the early 70s? Okay. So that was the world of man, yes? So we entered to the world of man. We needed to dress with certain code, we needed to talk in certain way, and we need to fight our way through because we didn't have women models. We only have men models. Are we in agreement on that? Yes? Yes? Okay. We survived the 70s. Some of you started in the 80s. Who started in the 80s? Well, you were a little bit luckier than us. Little bit. You have certain models, but not that much, because we were dressed in those suits, huh? And we were becoming quite hard to make our way through. And then the people in the 80s, okay, it was a little bit easier, but still big fight to be there, yeah? Do you remember? Yes, what do you remember? Some memories from that time? I will not go like this to work, not for sure, not.
You have to talk like a man if you feel like a man at the table. You have to talk like a man if you are a woman.
Yeah. We dressed quite on those suits, yeah? What else do you remember from that time? Yes, Eva? Yes.
I was working as a credit analyst in a bank, and I was the only woman and only man, and people would stop talking as I would arrive in the room.
For example, yes, yes. And I remember Brigitte, weren't you one of the few who studied economy in that faculty? Can you talk to us a little bit about that one?
But because I come from Switzerland and we didn't have the right to vote until I was 15, in the 70s in Switzerland for women.
What about that?
I needed to prove that I could be as intelligent as a man, so I went to study economics, which I was not interested in, just to prove it, which is a bit stupid.
Well, many of us, we did many things to prove it, like smoking a lot of cigarettes and drinking a lot and etc., etc. Let's don't go further. But what I want to say that in this process, unconsciously, we had sacrificed something. We had sacrificed something that until then, it was one of our major treasure, because women, we survived many things before going to work outside. We survived the abandonment of our men because they went to the war or because they went with somebody else. We survived calamity, we survived violence, we survived immigration. And the fact that we were tender, we trust, we share, we cry. We used to live more than men. Did you know that? In that time, we would not hear a woman just fall down and have a heart attack, huh? Or stroke. What about this today? What do you think is the statistic? Do we have doctors here?
Yeah.
Like 40, 60s? Like, you know, we have as much stroke and heart attack as men have. Anyway, we are in distress, we are in that world. We make it. Now, we make it for the positive and we make it for the negative. And my proposal to you is because we are women, and because we have this cellular memory inside and outside and everywhere. And if you have chance to read more of the work that Bruce Lipton has done about how we can change even our cellular molecule through the changing of our thinking. By the way, Bruce will be in London in August. And because we have all this memory, my proposal to women is to keep what we have achieved. Huh? We are the economists, we are doctors, we are lecturers, we are models, we are ministers, and let's learn, let's go back to the way where we used to trust each other, where we used to be tender, where we used to talk, where we used to cry. How many patients or clients I have that they tell me I cannot cry, women. I didn't cry for many, many years. I cannot have fun unless I drink. I cannot relax. So this is one proposal for us women, and I'm going around the world having statistics and offering different way of working to come back to our center, keeping all the power we already achieved, but learning the way back home, the way back to our femininity. Because there is a misconception about femininity, and we think that a little bit more of plastic surgery, or a little bit more of high heel, or a little bit more of short dress make me more feminine. But if I don't change my essence, the inside, that part that becomes so hard on me, all that is not working. All these, I'm not against it or in favor, but it's not gonna work. What is gonna work is the work that we're gonna do from inside out to come back to our essence in the femininity. The other drama of our hardness, or this part of we went so damaged in us, is what happens to men. So, dear men, we love you all, but I understand it has been hard for you. The kingdom that you have for so many centuries has changed, and it seems there is no return in that way. Yeah, it changed. So now you're sharing with us, with me, with her, and that has been a little bit difficult because maybe I also make it difficult. It has been difficult for you to get used to this change field, but in the way how we become also make it difficult. Is that true? I need some men to share some of their experience about working alongside women in the 2000s or in the 2016, 2017. How is that? Any experience? Yes? Oh, he's gonna talk about me. 1 minute, 1 minute.
Working in the corporate world, I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. Women behave like men. And it was kind of a bit disturbing for me, to be honest.
What do you mean, women behave as a man?
Well, they dress the same, they acted the same, they behaved in the same way. They didn't show any of these feminine qualities. They were very hard, very strict, very...
Peter, one question. Did you approve of the behavior of the man and now the woman is behaving like him? Or is that behavior of the man that you didn't approve about, and now the woman is behaving as him? Because there's a huge difference.
It's just, I think, I didn't expect it, because women have different role models outside the workplace, so it was kind of a little bit strange.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I want to ask you this. When we say women behave as men, what do you mean? Because man is fantastic. Man is active. Man is good looking. Man is logic. Man is strong. Man is a scientist. So if I, as a woman, am behaving as a man, bravo me. Yeah? I think what we are referring is to this dark quality of the masculine that women we copy to survive, and now we are trapped on it. Are we talking about this? Some sharing?
Yeah, I worked in a corporate environment for 12 years, and it was a very male-dominated environment in the financial sector in London. I think what we're talking about is control and a kind of a dominating force in some respects. I think it's more, as you say, the shadow aspect of the masculine energy as opposed to a specific male trait or behavior.
Yes. And this is what I want you all to help me now, because I'm writing a book about that. And then between all of us, we can do it. I need a volunteer for this stage to write, please. No gender issue? Anybody? Yes, thank you. Thank you. So we want to write in some place feminine, and in the other side masculine. Are we okay? Yes? Yes? And the other side masculine. It's just a casualty that one is red. Okay, now I want you please to give me qualities, and I want you to give me the qualities, and we will tell her, we will put the quality, if it's a bright quality, expansive, marvelous. I want to put it up, if it's feminine or masculine, and if it's the shadow of that quality, we're gonna put it down, okay? Shall we do, but we need to do it dynamic, in a dynamic way. Can I have 2 minutes to speak in Spanish? Quick. Para los de habla española, estamos haciendo un ejercicio donde vamos a poner las cualidades que tenemos, que nos gusta de los hombres, de lo femenino y de lo masculino, y lo vamos a poner qué es lo positivo y expansivo y qué es lo negativo, limitante y oscuro, para que sigamos trabajando juntos, ¿vale? Entonces lo puedes decir en español, que yo traduzco. Okay, shall we start? Quick, let's start.
Nourishing.
Huh?
Nourishing.
Nourishing, where's that?
Feminine.
Okay, you put nourishing. Maybe we need another one. Yeah. Any other volunteer here so we make it more dynamic? Who can help? Yeah? Brigitte? Huh? Yes? Okay. Very good. Okay, let's go quick, please. Because we have only 1 hour. Huh? Taking. Wait. Taking. Is that a quality? Active. No, she is, and I take too. All of us, we take.
Sense of humor, good sense of humor.
Okay, so what happened when is both of us, we have it? So SH in the middle. SH in the middle, yes. Let's create it, keep going. We keep the same. Active, action, masculine, action. What else? Handy.
I think that's masculine.
Handy.
Oh, you want to
Focus. Let's put it man. Keep going. Huh? Cooperative. Feminine. And masculine. And masculine. Huh? Competitive. Where is that? Masculine. Competitive, masculine. They are. Structured.
Boxes.
Structured. More. Huh? Logic.
Multitasking. This is a woman.
What?
Multitasking.
Loving. Okay, more.
Gender. Your density. Multitasking.
Multitasking, versatile, multitasking. What else? Practical.
No, that's very separate.
Powerful.
Practical. Powerful. Both of them. Rational, intuitive. Huh? Emotional, both of them. One expresses, the other will not. But nowadays, all of us, we don't express. Receptive, we put it. Okay, let's go now. There is many, yeah? And I will be very grateful if you do more and more and you give it to me through the weeks. But let's talk a little bit now about the shadow of these qualities, because we will not have time to write them all down. Let's see. Nourishing. Give me the shadow of that. Mothering, overprotecting. Okay. Tell me the shadow of active. Overactive, overwhelmed in action. Yeah. Tell me the shadow of over. Tell me the shadow of being focused.
Disperse.
This is the opposite. Shadow. Obsess. Yeah. Tell me the shadow of structured. Rigid. Tell me the shadow of logic.
Confusion.
Narrow-minded.
Huh?
Narrow-minded.
Tell me the shadow of rational. Huh? Rational.
Yeah, rational. The shadow of
Fixated.
Huh?
Fixated.
I couldn't understand.
One-dimensional.
Yeah, one-dimensional. Yeah, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Limiting. Tell me the shadow of multitasking, for God's sake. Disperse. We become so dispersed, doing so many things at the same time. Yeah. The shadow of flexible, weak, aloof, all over disconnected, receptive, perceptive, no boundaries. And we can go on and on. So who's saying that the feminine is better than the masculine? No. Not me. No. What I'm saying that nowadays, apart from certain countries that still they are fighting desperately for their rights, that is a matter of personality more than a matter of gender. This is my fight. This is my discussion. Because I have this subject, they put me in a lot of debate about feminine and masculine, and I'm not saying this is not an issue of men or an issue of women. This is issues of personalities and how we got hooked by certain personalities. We don't have time here, but I'm happy to send you copies or it's in the website about the wave of the feminine and how it started for the right of vote, for the right of work, and how they are going on in their fourth wave, and there is a big fight about who's right and who's wrong. And for those of you who don't know it, there's a big movement of men, protecting men, because there is a lot of statistic of violence against men being violated by their women, by their mothers. So they are looking for places and shelter for men, and these people who are working in that side are trying to encounter the feminine movement, and they are creating like debate and things, but it's not about that. We're not gonna solve it about who suffer more. We cannot repeat the story, can we? When we were day before yesterday in workshop with Tilke and John, and we had like around 80 people, 60 people, and 70% were women and 30% were men. And they did this beautiful dynamic that we also do, is about men talking and taking a step forward. Every time Tilke or John will say about being wounded in some areas, and how the women come to hold them, respect them, ask them for forgiveness. And when the turn of the women come, we discover that, you know what, we are both wounded, deeply wounded. And the chain is continuing from men to women, from one generation to another generation. Our neurosis has no end. And what is the purpose with this talk is how I can use the breath work, the breath. First, to learn breathing, psychotherapy, and I'm adding image because that has a lot to do with self-esteem, to be able to understand how it is that my neurosis get triggered. And what is it in my hands? How is it for me to be able to learn how to not only control it, is to learn how to minimize it, how to transform it, how to go to the higher quality. And then from that, go and work with my relationship or with my workers. So what I'm doing with the feminine capital rhythm is through the rhythm of the breath. Each one of us has a very particular rhythm, as is the rhythm of our own stories. My story has put me in a rhythm of life that sometimes I'm more rigid, sometimes I'm more flexible, but I have learned and learned how to be more and more open and flexible, because rigidity was killing me. 5 packs of cigarettes a day, 35 black coffee, 14 hours work, 3 hours sleep. Obviously, I will not be here with you. Because you know what happens when you go so rigid? You need substance, you need something to help you to relax, because you cannot survive in that rigidity. So for me, I'm a survival because of psychotherapy and breath work. I am here with you because I learned how to get away. I learned how to heal my victimhood, and I don't have more open wounds. Maybe you can make me one new, but not an old one. But I have to tell you, I'm a woman with a lot of scars. And if you work with me, if you live with me, if we do a trip together, you will see how many scars I have. And this is what made me be who I am. But I don't have more open wounds. And this is what is my proposal to you. You need, being men or women, we need together to go as peers, together, to create the best way possible world to live in. And that is not gonna happen if you have that open wound still, even if it's one. Because whatever come nearby that open wound is gonna hurt, and you need to defend yourself. And we're gonna go to a pattern. Some of those. Yeah? So I have a program. The program is Feminine Capital Rhythm. It uses breathwork, holistic psychotherapy, and the consciousness of image. And with that, we work to heal the wound and to become the best version of ourselves. The second part of this program is that I have the Feminine Capital Forum, which is a platform that we do event. I do event in the world where we're going to have speakers in panels and individuals, and those are women and men who are working with the feminine paradigm, which we need nowadays to ease, in a way, the hardest part of the masculine paradigm that we've been living in the past. Doesn't mean that is more women empowered. Mean to develop more of the feminine quality. In an interview, they were asking me if I think that if women will be empowered, the world will change. What do you think was my answer? Not at all. If the woman empowered, she's gonna use the shadow of the masculine and the shadow of the feminine. No, the world is not gonna change. As we have example with it, we already have some women in power. So it's not about gender. My Feminine Capital Forum and my Feminine Capital Rhythm, it is not about gender. It is about personality, it's about healing the wounds, and it's about breathing in the rhythm that you need to breathe in these moments of your life to heal your wounds. I want to use some moment of this talk to answer your question. As you see, I didn't prepare the talk, I know. I never prepare my talk, but I tried, and I have to learn because I'm preparing for a TED Talk, as I told you before. I'm talking about healing stress through your breath. So I need to be very focused on the time and finish on time and make it for the TED Talk about breathing. So how are we doing with time?
Good.
What?
15 minutes.
15 minutes? Woo! We have 15 minutes more together. Please, any question you would like to ask me or would you like to add to what we're talking about? Yes? We need microphone.
I didn't quite understand the combination of what is image when you combine.
Yes. I'm 58 years old, and some part of my body has changed without my permission. And I was marveled. I marveled to see many of my friends here that I didn't see for many years. And the way how their body changed too, men and women. So I'm very pleased that I'm not the only one. But I love beauty, I love comfort. And I see that when, especially women, carry some low self-esteem, little bit manageable, and when they enter into the era of the changing of hormones and the body betray us, it seems like body betray us, the self-esteem drop even more. And they have the tendency to not to show their body or to wear a lot of black. So I have had a training, special training about color and about style that I use with women and men, of which colors suit you the best and which style is the most comfortable, and you still are proud of your body. So this is what I use the image in all these, because I think body is the first thing we are in connection with as babies, the consciousness about us that I exist, and body will be always, always important for us. It's also to feed, to sleep, to drink, to rest, sexuality from the physical point of view, but image is very important. And the way how we keep liking ourselves and taking care of ourselves, doesn't matter how it changed, it helps us to be up and to be proud of who we are. Doesn't matter our age or our size. This is what I work with. What else?
I have lots of stories.
¿Tienes alguna pregunta?
No, pero podría aportar algo a las historias de los hombres y las mujeres trabajando.
Okay, she would like to give some story. There's any question for me? Vanessa, you're okay?
So in that phrase, use feminine capital rhythm. I got an idea from your talk now what you mean by capital. What do you mean by rhythm?
It's respecting each one rhythm in their own breath, in their own style, and in their own way of seeing success. Success doesn't mean the same for all of us. For some of us is to have more time. For some of us is to have more health. For some of us is to have more retreats. So it's the respect of the individual rhythm. That's one explanation. The other explanation is when we come with the feminine capital name that we like very much, we look and there were another 3 women who are using it. There is 2 women who wrote a book about feminine capital. We recommend you that book. It's the way how women work different than the qualities, how men and women work differently. Michael can give you more ideas about the book. And there's another woman, beautiful, amazing woman. All of you from Holland should meet her. Originally from Tunis, and she has a beautiful story, and she worked with feminine capital through belly dance. She helped women to connect with their primal essence, to get in touch with their body through their belly dance origin. So also for respect to them, I didn't take feminine capital and I needed to do something different. I thought about wave in some moment, but wave has all these stories, so we put rhythm. And I was very happy when the name of the jeep was the music of the breath. So my rhythm was very nice there. Yeah. Anything else? Yes.
I think I've got some sort of curiosity around the mix between the feminine and masculine energies and then male and female genders. And just wondering about like the confusion that people can have sometimes if they feel they have to fit to a stereotype of a man or a stereotype of a woman.
Yeah.
Because some of the things you talk about in your talk are about, seem to be about, you know, how does a man work or how does a woman work?
Yeah.
And I think for me it feels as though there can be some real difficulties for people because there's a very strong sense of identity that they then can feel that they're needing to match to something.
Yeah.
So I would just wondered if you could talk a little bit about how you
work. Yeah. So what I want basically to break down men, women, and to respect both gender and their rhythm, because nowadays there is many areas that we are very similar. Like I am like a woman. As a woman, I'm very kind of weak physically to open a pack. I'm like. It seems like it's a characteristic of a woman, but I have many men friends who cannot change a wheel of a car, and that's fine. But I'm very active, and I can penetrate a market and go and open doors, like it seems like it's a quality of a man. So what I'm proposing is let's love our gender. Of course, again, we will love it when we heal our wound because we carry a lot of wound about being men or being women. But it's more about how to find the way to become the best version of ourselves without being there in that division. Because for me, actually, I think I'm a little bit wild, not structured, but if you see my books, they are very structured. So I do have structure. I'm logic, I'm practical, I'm rational, I'm very focused. I'm handy in some areas. So what is it that the man has as a quality that I don't have? I don't have certain quality from the feminine side or from the masculine side. So my proposal is we don't have to fit. We have to make it the best version of ourselves. Who are we? What is the best part of our personality? How we can catch it back? Yeah, and let's work together. 2 women, 2 men. Let's live together. 2 women, 2 men. Let's go beyond that. And I was so happy when I was negotiating with Wilfred about my talk and coming back to the jig after so many years. And he, in Wilfred's style, because like he's doing nothing, then I'm being like very passionate and explaining all this. And he said, You're talking about going beyond femininity and masculinity. And then we fix it together, going beyond and to live in that sphere where every individual is important because of themselves, with infinite possibilities. This is what is the proposal. You may call me romantic, you may call me idealistic, but this is what I'm working for in this time of my life. And I would love it if you can accompany me as much as possible, because I'm going to create some Feminine Capital Forum in your country, and I will need you. Thank you so much for the attention.
Thank you, Viola. I was just about to ask another question.
Yes?
But
Yes, please.
You want me to ask another question?
I'm showing off that I can finish on time. Because I have so much to say.
I get your point of overcoming and arriving at a personality that can really be true to her or himself. But for me, it's not so clear how this way there works if we don't have to find these role models which are capable of bringing us in contact with the positive qualities of the masculine, and which are able to bring the women in contact with the positive qualities, or with the upsides and not the downsides of the feminine qualities.
Yeah.
So for me, it's also acknowledging or seeing what the feminine qualities inside of me are.
Yes.
Is a part of this process of finding myself as a man, maybe first or not maybe first, but I don't know. But it's this physical transformation we have all gone through.
Yeah.
And I feel very deeply that this physical transformation could have been supported in a better way.
It could be, for all of us. It could have been. But look what's happening. We can be the first. We can be the second or the third. We can create a home or a business model that we can be model for others. Okay, we didn't have the models. We didn't. Our parents were not perfect, or our country was not perfect, or the system was not perfect. Until when we're going to keep crying about that? We have a beautiful tool, breath, connect us with the source of life. We have so many variety of technique of the breath here, that if one doesn't suit me, I can move to the other one, or to the other one, or I can make them all. Come on, let's do it. Let's connect with life and be the model for this generation and for the next generation. Okay, we didn't have the best. Who have the best? Me? You know what? I was born in Iraq, in a home of Assyrian parents that they don't consider themselves Arab. I was born already migrant, already in separation. Then my father died when I was 3. At 4, my mother has to move country because it was tough on her. With 2 kids, we went to Lebanon. We had to learn a new language, and we went to a new system and a new family system to live with others in their system. Do you think that was anything nearby perfect? Well, no. After 8 years, the war in Lebanon was so imminent that we had to go to the first place we could, and we arrived to beautiful Venezuela. Colorful, magnificent. Did they have a good, perfect system?
Not at all.
No. No. We had to survive. Now, okay, look, I survived. 58 years old. What I'm gonna do? Come on, heal it. Now I'm here with you, and we need to find the new way, and this is my proposal. Let's look for the new way, but with the breath, with the cheering for friendship. Stop fighting with the man. He's my brother, the one I didn't have. He's my beautiful husband there. He's my colleague here. Okay, they are not perfect. They are carrying a lot of wounds. It's difficult. But breathing together, we can make it. And this is my proposal to you. Keep breathing, keep focusing on what is it that you want, and let's work with it. Let's work toward it together. Together we can make. I make it, you can make it. I was so bad. I had 4 years of psychotherapy, 3 times per week. Look, I'm gonna finish with this. if I make it, you can make it. Because this case was very, very difficult. Thank you very much, and see you today.
Thank you very much, Viola. Thanks for sharing your life, for sharing your experience with the world, and for creating this program. All the best for your program.
If it served for some reason, thank you very much for this space. Very grateful.